Salam aleikum, aleikum salam. Que el Sami los acutare. Que todos los ancestros los acompañe. Y todos los muertos que estén a su lado de luz. I pray that Nsame Mpugo blesses you guys. I pray that your ancestors walk with you guys. And I pray that all those muertos accompany you of light and give you guidance and help in your striving in your daily life. I ask that your families be blessed always, and that we are pushing forward, no matter the obstacles, no matter what it is. We're still pushing forward. We're still trying to succeed. We still have our mind focused, and we are looking towards a better place in our lives. And this is all what it's about: being in peace, having some harmony, and nothing much, people. Brothers and sisters, we here this morning, 36 degrees. Feels like it's 30. Sun is out. Weather here is kind of crazy. The other 2 days ago, it was in the almost 60 degrees, I would say. I had to take my jacket off for like 2 days. And now it's back again with the scully and the jacket on. I wanted to speak a little bit and give you guys a little bit of advice on the importance of learning the African cosmology. There are people out there that don't follow it, Impalo. They have their own system, and some do without not even knowing what they are actually practicing or following. They just do it out of seeing or learning or somebody teaching them what are they doing. But in all reality, the African cosmology, the way the Bantu see life and the world and the spiritual realm and the forces, and even how they see the Supreme Being, totally, different. You're gonna see that when you hear the word Dikenga, we're speaking about the African cosmology. Dikenga. When you hear the word Yowa or Yowa, it's the African cosmology. When you hear Tenduenza, African cosmology. Those are three words that are talking about the same thing: the African cosmology. Yeah, not everybody uses the African cosmology, and those who do, a lot use it in their way, and they implement it in a certain manner. But the African cosmology is very, very important for us to learn and to seek and dive real deep into the meaning, into what it represents, and why you need to know that. Why do you need to know the Dikenga? Why do you need to know the Yowa? Why do you need to know Denduenza? Why do you need to know all that? Why? Very important. A lot of books like Bunseki Fukia, Tata Bunseki, he speaks about it. Especially him. That's an African brother on YouTube that speaks about it also. But but it's a little bit different because he has a Christianity upbringing So he kind of implements it also with the Judeo faith, because really that's who that tradition came down from. The Jews, the children of Israel. Everything else, and anybody else that forms or follows a form of that is just a copycat, naming it a different thing. So back to what I was saying, learning the African cosmology will help you a lot, greatly, because the African cosmology has a lot to do with the practice. When I say a lot, I'm gonna at least say the minimum I could probably say 85 as the minimum, but it has to do with a lot. And there are a lot of people out here who don't teach that system or that way, and it's for reasons, because these are things that even when you read them in books, you only get what you read from the top, and if you can understand it. Because if you can't understand what you're reading, yeah, you could see it, you could see how they using it, but then when it comes for you to implement it, you do not know. So that's why it takes somebody to teach you about the Dikenga. Unless you have a muerto, right? Or the Nganga is leading you to use the Dikenga in certain manners, certain ways, and you never been taught it, but the muerto gave it to you, then it's more, it's actually almost, we will say, a blessing that the muerto will give you that to use it, because a lot of people out here do not teach the Yoa, Tenduenza, or the Dikenga. Don't teach a lot of people. Not that people don't know it. It's just that they use different systems, or they do things not knowing that has to do with the African cosmology. So if you could study more upon it, learn it, grab the concept, and then if you find a lineage that uses it and knows how to implement it and could teach you the deeper parts of the Dikenga, then that will be a blessing. That will be something very good to understand, very good to know, because to me it's important. It's important. I used to always wonder when I seen people, casting, how did they knew? How did they pick out and see La Congos? How did they know what letter mean? What does those symbols mean? And a lot of them used to always say, no, the muerto tells me. I'm speaking to the muerto. I'm connected with the muerto. And it always baffled me and boggles my mind, because I understand, yeah, you connect with the muerto. But, to what extent is your connection to the muerto? Are you connected to the muerto 24/7? So I always saw and I will always ask, what is it saying now? Me being nosy, in the Muranza, what is it saying? How do I do a Patipemba? And hearing an elder telling you, oh, when you're ready to do the the ensara or whatever you want to do or conform something, the muerto will give it to you. Yeah, I understand that the muerto could give it to you. I know that. But there's things that we use the African cosmology for a lot that because of that, we and the muerto, we're able to do certain things and work in certain ways and understand certain things and get other things that we just don't get out of air. You know, it's like, so I advise you guys. I'm not saying, listen guys, if you guys have your tatas and yayas, you have your own tatas and yayas, you know, padrinos, and you're learning and you have practice and you have a mastered way of divining, of doing a whole bunch of things and knowing this and this and that and whatever, keep doing that. But don't limit yourself on not learning. Don't limit yourself on not learning. Always have an open mind. Once you shut your mind and your way is the only way, forget about it. You will never be open to receive anything else or to look upon or research anything else. Because once you start with that mindset, you're already lost. Once you think you're the best, you lost. Honestly, in all true aspects of life. In malongo, on your daily life, in marriage and everything. Once you think you're the best, you lost. You can never think you're the best. Yes, if I was you guys, I would look for Kinwandende, Bunseki Fukiao. I will start reading his books, learning of how he teaches the concept of the Dikenga, Yowa, Tenduenza, and get the grasp of it, at least, and understand the concept. And if you're taught different than other Mulanzo, then follow what they're following, but always have your mind open. Because you're going to become a tata and a yaya one day, if you're not already. And you could use everything that you've been taught. But if you could add something to your arsenal that is from the tradition, because back in the days, the old heads knew this system and they practiced this. You know, but as we say, things through time starts diminishing, starts getting watered down. A lot of things get watered down. Not everything. There are things that evolve, but there's also a lot of things that get watered down. So we have to be conscious of that. And if you could get something that at one point when this tradition started was implementing, was being used, and it was rich, it had that richness from the Congo, from the Bantu, and it was kind of either lost or not too many people taught it, or some hold it and haven't taught others, because there are people out there that know it. They know the Dikenga. They know how to use it. And they know what it means, what it represents, and a lot of things. The Dikenga has a lot to do in the practice of Nkisi Malongo, Palo Mayombe, Palo Monte, Palo has a lot to do with it. But not much here, guys. Making the donuts, doing what I gotta do. I'm just looking over here because I know I got a delivery up here. Yes, sir. I got it right here. I wish you guys the best. Don't forget, start looking for books in English. Tata Bunseki Fukiao and other brothers and sisters, and sisters out there that have written anything that has to do with the African cosmology, especially the Bantu concept of it, because you're practicing Palo, right? So You want to look for that. And you want to read the book 2 or 3 times. If you don't understand it, take a break, finish reading it, and then in a couple of days pick it up again and start reading it again, and keep it fresh in your mind. When you come to look at it, at least you'll know the concept. And if your elders teach you that, start teaching you it, and they know it, then you'll know now how to apply it. And if you don't know how to apply it, then at least you know something of it and hold it. You know, use whatever you can that you have grasped, and then as time go on and you meet other tatas or all the yayas that know the concept, then it's easier for you to start. Then you'll learn more and more and more. Like I said, I don't have the absolute truth. I don't claim to know everything. I'm young in the tradition compared to a lot of others. I started in 2008 to 2000, I don't know, what was it, 10 or 11, around there. And I went through all these hardships, you understand? And kept on going, stopping, pausing for a couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years, getting back up with the drive to start looking again. Did a couple of things in the Ocha faith, but it's not my calling. It's not what I was feeling. I was feeling what I'm practicing and I am doing since the beginning that I wanted to do. Other than that, you guys have a safe day, a blessed day. Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a thumbs up for the algorithm. Don't forget, guys, Yowa, Tenduenza, and the Dikenga. 3 words, if you see, talking about the African cosmology. Look upon it, do your research, and learn. Don't close yourself to just knowing 1 thing, 2 things. Have an open mind, man. Grow. Don't stay stagnant what you are. You're not changing your lineage or your treaties by gaining knowledge. You understand? If it's something that you could use that comes straight from the Congo, you're not changing nothing, because those people used it, those people implemented, those people lived it. And at some point, a lot of this stuff went to Cuba, and some people still hold it, and a lot of people don't. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, que Sambia la Kutare always. Ya tu saben, Kisi, Malongo Yaya. Be safe, guys.